So this next white wine, which is featured on this month's Wines of the Month, is available on the Grand Cru tier. And it's a Riesling from Germany, as you can probably tell from the shape of the bottle. Don't be too concerned about what's on the label. But what it is, it's 100% Riesling, and it's from the Moselle Valley. And it's from a vineyard called Vellener Sonnener. Sonnener means sundial in German, and it's a very famous vineyard just situated next door to Bernkastel, which is opposite the River Rhine, in the heart of the Moselle Valley. And it's made on very sort of steep slate soils and vineyards. And the wine is off dry, off to medium dry, in that what it says on the label is that it's a Spätlese, which means late harvest. So the grapes sort of stay on the vines a bit longer than is usually required to gain that bit more ripeness and a bit more sort of sugar in the grapes. Now, what these levels of sugars mean when you're deciding on what sort of style of German wine to drink is that it usually starts with the driest style, which is actually off dry, which is Cabernet. The next tier up to that is Spätlese, which is late harvest. And these wines have a bit more residual sugar at the time of picking. So once the wine is made, it has a natural low alcohol with a sort of a natural sweetness to the wine. And what the winemaker is always trying to achieve when they're making these styles of wine, it has some sweetness to it, is with the great thing with Riesling, it has a very, very marked natural style of acidity. And the great thing about, not only are these wines actually food friendly, they're quite light in alcohol, and I know these German wine labels can be quite sort of disconcerting and quite hard to understand, but there's an awful lot of information on the wine label, and it's quite easy, once you get to know the different styles of Riesling, to actually discern what the styles are actually like. And if you look on the back label, the great thing about this is only 7.5% alcohol, and it has this lovely sort of natural acidity to it. The fruits are, again, they're very sort of tropical. It has a sort of nectarine, a sort of orange blossom, a slight hint of honey. And this has a couple of years bottle age, and what Riesling tends to do after it sort of settles down and matures a bit, it sort of takes sort of the edge off the fruitiness or the fruit-forward flavours and goes into sort of a sort of petrol, kerosene, petroleum hints, which you find with aged Riesling. But there's a lovely sweetness to it. It's medium sweet. It's very light in alcohol, and again, it's one of those wines you can have as an aperitif. But being a sort of a cheese fan myself, there aren't too many German cheeses on the island here, but two I would highly recommend that would go lovely with this is a Saint-Agur, which is a blue French cheese from the Dordogne region, and a lovely full fat cream cow's cheese called Saint-André, which is sort of northern tip of Burgundy. And these two cheeses have that richness to it, which the acidity and the sweetness in the wine will actually sort of balance and complement each other quite nice. Anyway, cheers.